The hidden mathematics of AI, why your GPU bills don't add up, why AI's cloud economics don't add up. There's a calculation that every AI executive should know by heart, have, most have never done. An on-premises GPU server, graphics server, costs roughly the same as 6 to 9 months of renting equivalent cloud capacity. Given that hardware typically runs for 3 to 5 years, the mathematics are stark. Yet somehow this isn't common knowledge in boardrooms making million-pound infrastructure decisions. The issue stems from a fundamental mismatch between how we think about AI costs and how they actually accumulate. The operational expenditure over capital expenditure model feels intuitive when you pay as you go, scale as needed, and avoid big upfront commitments. However, renting a single NVIDIA H100 GPU instance from a hyperscaler cloud provider can cost around $8 an hour, or over $5,500 per month. Over 12 months, that's upwards of $65,000. And I want you to note that it costs $33,000 to purchase one H100, which means in the course of a month, running one H100 in the course of a year, running one H100 over the course of a year, you have now paid for that H100 twice. By contrast, purchasing equivalent hardware outright might cost around $30,000 to $35,000 with 3 to 5 years of usable life. Add power, cooling, and maintenance, and you still come out ahead after just 6 to 9 months of usage. Plus, you own the hardware, so you don't have to return it after 12 months. But the pricing hierarchy is more complex than it appears. While neo-cloud providers like FluidStack offer H100s at that $2 an hour rate, hyperscalers charge closer to $8 an hour, making the on-premises case even stronger. The real-world comparison gets harder to ignore when you consider actual deployments. 8 of these H100 systems from Dell or Supermicro cost around $250,000 versus $825,000 for 3 years of the equivalent capacity in the cloud. NVIDIA carries a punishing 50 to 100% markup on these prices. However, you also have additional costs. What are the additional costs? Training runs. Most cloud providers only guarantee access to large GPU clusters if you reserve capacity for a year or more. If your training only needs 2 weeks, you're still paying for the other 50. Meanwhile, inference demands create their own mathematical puzzle, like tokens, which we just covered. They fluctuate, they're unpredictable, right? And they're constantly increasing. Elasticity. What's elastic is the servers. Elasticity means that you can fluctuate the kinds of servers you can run these AI models on. That's fine. But what you can't do is elasticize the version of the AI system that you need to run. You can't always confirm, or you can't always have particular AI models run on particular hardware simply because they can't. Which means now you're out of luck if you want to put in a new model and it will not operate on the hardware that you're leasing out from a company. And then it goes even further. You have data migration issues, so now you're paying for bandwidth. You have downtime. You have the impact to performance as data transfer has to take gigabytes upon gigabytes, sometimes terabytes of data. You have to have compliance upgrades. You have to tackle performance issues. You have to re-optimize. You have to revalidate. Then you have infrastructure like code, internal enterprise infrastructure, missing windows because you didn't get an update out fast enough because there's a burden to running these things. You also have the operations of the people who have to have the expertise, go in and actually make the changes, understand what changes to make, plug in additional Python code, all of this stuff. These are costs that are hidden from you as you pay that $20 a month. But these are costs that these companies are having to foot the bill on. So no, you don't get a free lunch. You get an extremely expensive soup, and it's called chicken soup. And it's just chickens crapping out diarrhea-filled shit in bowls. And that's what you pay for in spades. They want every dev to jump on, stay addicted, and eventually pay like $2,000 per month. Big chunk of your salary. Yeah, it's a huge chunk of your salary. A ChatGPT Pro subscription costs 38.6 months of income in low-income countries. That's right. So all these people who love to defend AI and how cheap it is and how free everything is when it's not. Well, how about you step up for the people in countries who can't afford this crap and who have to pay, how much was it? 38.6 months of their income to get access to the same stuff that you claim is so efficient and valuable and life-changing to you. How about them?